Welcome to Journey to Essence. My name is Bruna Gonçalves, and today we are going to discuss the topic: how can we stop being just one more person and start making real impact in life? To start this podcast, I would like to say a phrase that it's common sense, but a few people must hear this verse. That is, you are not just number, you have a purpose. So go and find it. This is so important in our life, and as a Christian, we know that purpose for us is different from the purpose that the world have, and we look our lives in a different view. We look with God's eyes, and we see that to find our purpose in God, there is a whole process of looking in God, seeking God, and trying to find in Him what we were made for. And I would like to discuss in this episode 3 key points for which to just stop this feeling of why I'm here for, and we start to understand who we truly are, what we are made for, and also how can we make impact in people's lives around us. The key point number 1 is find purpose to live for. Life is meaningless if we don't have God and don't know why we exist. Work on building a strong sense of self and individuality. This point is for all of us, and we can find so many verses here in the Bible that say the same thing. We need to go in God and find in Him what He would like for us. How can we participate in His plan, and how can we make the difference? So I would like to read with you in Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 7 that says, "Much dreaming and many words are meaningless. Therefore, fear God." Keep this in mind, and now I would like to read with you Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. "Now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil." We see in these 2 verses that I just read that the important thing is fear God, fear the Lord. If you fear the Lord, if you look to Him to see who you are going to find your true self. You need to work and build your identity. And your identity is something that is already made, is already writing. In the Bible, we see all those stories of people that they grow up and they knew who they were because they have this strong relationship with God. It's a process we will not find in the beginning. It's a lifelong journey to discover who we are in God. But God is so grateful, so merciful, so amazing that He gives us a lot of parts of who we are and what we are here for. He gives us visions, and we can see through these visions and then look forward to see, okay, I see all these things in my mind. And this is like common sense. Everyone says, if you see it, it's because it already exists. And this is so true. In the Bible, we can see this so many times. When Jesus was doing all his miracles, we see that he did that because first he had his identity in God, and second, he knew that thing was possible. He already saw that. So for us to stop just being one more person, stop being just number, and start really making difference in this world, we need to understand who we are in God. And then we need to take time to spend alone with him to discover what he would like for us. How can we be participants of his big plan? And his plan is amazing, but he wants us to be part of it. And here I will say another thing. Take time alone with God to discover in him what he has created for you, to be participant in his plan. And this is important. Focus on this phrase and go all in with him. If once you know what God would like for you, once you have this vision clear in your mind, then it's your part to go for it and go all in him. And for you to do that, you need to be able to see the unseen. And the unknown sometimes is scary for us. We don't understand what is going to happen and we are afraid. But we see in the Bible so many times, don't be afraid. And this is something that I put in practice, because we know when we are like entering in this journey, it's normal. Fear try to like take control over our lives. But then we see here that we need to bring all our anxiety. If we go one chapter before, we see that in the same book, Ecclesiastes, but now chapter 11, verse 10 says, "So then banish anxiety from your heart and cast off the troubles of your body, for youth and vigor are meaningless." All the things that you want, you desire, and you don't know exactly, okay, how is this going to be real? How this is going to come to my life? And then we get stressed about it and we don't think in God anymore. And this is trouble. Once we rely in our strength, it's certain that we are going to fall. But once we enter in God and surrender in his presence, everything that we want, everything that we fear, everything that we don't know, but we want to give to him so he can give us peace and he can help us to live the life that he has for us. The point number 2 for today is understand that life is not about us, but love God with everything you have and love your neighbor as you love yourself. I would like to read with you here in Mark chapter 12, verse 30. It says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength." The second is, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. If you understand that life is not just about us, everything is going to make sense. Because then, how can I stop being just like more one, like someone that they can easily change and put another person in our place? How can we stop being just one more person? And the key is in here. Once we understand that life is not just about us, we are going to understand that, wait a minute. I can make difference in others people life. I can be that person that they will know they are unique. I can find 10 people, maybe 100 people to do the same thing that this person is doing. However, I like this person and I want to be with them. So once we understand it's not only about us, we start giving more, giving God's love, giving what God has already put inside of us. He put so many things inside of us, but the most important thing is the Holy Spirit. And here we see, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we want good things for us. The same way, we need to have this desire to see people doing great and being happy with them, and also giving what we have. Like here we see we need to be okay with us, we need to be fine with us, we need to know who we are. Once we know who we are in Christ, then we can go and teach others how they can know who they are. Also, the meaning of life is to love God and to love others. To make a real impact in life, we need to understand people are important. How can I make a difference in their lives? How can I think and solve problems that they are struggle with? If we are helpful for people, then we are making impact. And this part doesn't matter how many people you are going to impact. If you impact one life, that is so great. In heaven, you are going to have like really, really big prize, because life is much more important than all the gold of this earth. We can have a lot of things here, a lot of material things and money and status and so many other things that for us is important, right? But people, they are the real gold for God. Like, what I mean by that? We see things. God see purpose. God see lives. He see lives. And once we understand that, we are going to see people with other view, and we are going to understand, wait a minute, they are in my life for a reason. How can I be helpful to them? And people will come and people will go. We need to understand that, and we need to be helpful for them. Don't think just as an exchange thing. I give them something and they will give them something back. As a humans, we have a tendency to do that. And I also have this, so I know what I'm talking about. But once we know God, then we are going to understand that we need to put this desire of, I want something back, apart. And then think what you are going to give them. And if you do that, then you are going to make impact in their life, because then through your life, they are going to see God's love. And then they are going to be able, if they don't know Christ, to get to know Christ. Our purpose here, the beautiful way that we can make impact in this earth, is showing God love to people. If we do that, they will come and they would like to know who is the God that you serve, that you follow. This is the key. Number 2. We need to stop being just numbers. When we recognize God's value in us, then we are able to give God's value to others. We cannot be fulfilled by things, but we need to have God and be fulfilled by His presence. Key point number 3, surrender our will to God. Everything that you want, your desires, your goal, the visions that God has put inside of you, give it back to God and allow Him to work on you so you are going to be ready when the time comes. So we know this is something I'm talking is a process. Everything is a process. And we just read here in the book of Ecclesiastes that most things, they are meaningless. Seriously, life is meaningless if we don't have God. So what did it matter if you have like a really nice car, if you live in the place that you want to live, if you marry a person that you want to marry, or I don't know, have like that big amount of money in your bank account, if you don't have God? It's meaningless, you know? So once we understand our identity in God, that we are child of God and we are here in this earth not only for us but for others, we are going to understand I need to surrender what I want to God. His plans are better than mine. And I would like to read with you Jeremiah 29 verse 11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord." If you go and seek God, He's going to give you everything that you need from Him. Sometimes we have these visions of, we have just flashes of what we could be, but not God knows what is best for us. And a lot of times He puts the things inside of us and He don't give like a clear vision because He wants us. Go and seek Him. Go and seek Him for understanding of what He wants and what is the best approach. How is the way that I can do it and glorify God? Because life is, for people, life can be short, and for some people, life can be a little bit like long. But if you have God and you walk with Him, you are going to glorify God in all the ways that you go. If you go to this way, God will be there with you. If you go to the other way, God will be there with you. I was seeing someone saying something and I kept that with me. Sometimes we are so afraid to make decisions because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if we are going to follow God's will for us. And then we make that decision and then we are stressed. But this person said, the decision that you made, if you are making with God and if you are seeking God, even if you make the wrong decision, God will align you back. This is the third point. Surrender all your will to God. We are created to create, of course, but we can live a better life if we surrender our plans to the Creator, to the Creator of the world. if we give to him our plans, he's going to give us back a better plan with him. Because this is the purpose of life. Do you want to know how can you stop being just one more person and stop being like a number in that place or just like someone and that's it? And stop doing that in exchange for making real impact in your life, in your circumstance. Put God first. Love others. Surrender your life to God. This was the episode for today. I hope you understand what was the main point of today. That is, you want to stop being just a person that is living your life and you want to make real impact. Go all in God and discover who you are in God. Then love others. Impact other people's lives. Knowing that it's not about you, but it's about us, the plan that God has for each of us. How can we be helpful for that? If you surrender everything, that's amazing. You are going to see things changing. You are going to see the impact that you are making in this world. Hope you all have a great week, a great day. That blessings of God be with you all. If you would like to know more about Journey to Essence, or if you have a question and you would like to make us and so we can discuss in the next episode, please send an email. You can enter in the website brunaonmission.com. You can follow us on social media and see you guys soon.